So here we are. How many films down are we, Dan, on the 12 Features project?
9.
9 films. We thought we'd have we actually wanted to do like a halftime sort of reminisce over all the films we've done, but we thought, why don't we just do it at 9?
Yeah, I think it was more like I did a little video when we were at like 6, but it was just more of just a kind of like, hey, are we gonna finish this? And that was when I was in Peoria, and we just didn't really have time to like record a video from our both of our perspectives.
So we just have a couple questions to ask each other, and I'll start. Since when have you been in Hollywood shill, Dan? Obviously, that's a joke. No, seriously. Obviously, to get to 9, there was a lot of stress. To be as nonchalant about it, there was a lot of stress that sort of went in just to getting 9. First of all, how confident are we're gonna get there to 12?
We had 3 months, we had 3 projects, like guaranteed to get to the 12. I don't see a scenario where we don't, unless literally one of us drops dead. I think it's pretty unlikely. Obviously, again, there's always hiccups and stuff that could slow us down. I think that even if we did, I think there's like some three films will come out of this. I don't know what they will be. I have ideas of what we're doing, but I'm hoping that we'll figure it out, and I think we're gonna figure it out.
One of the things that really has stunned me is that when you set a goal as ambitious as 12 features, first of all, it's scary, but one of the things that I didn't expect was how many gosh darn ideas we'd have by the end of it, and another thing was how many ideas would end up getting produced that were on the spot type things that we just produced. We had no clue we were going to do. We were going over just recently how many ideas that we want to do, even though we have 3 months left. Let's go over. I think that's a good thing to go over. There's one movie called Three Dicks that's in production already. that may or may not even be the last of the 3, for all we know.
Yeah.
Obviously, End of the Decade is one that you've talked about for a really long time.
Yeah.
A Simple Thread, Pull the Trigger,
The Chlorine
2, possibly 3. There's even more, isn't there? There's one with the horror film DV, the horror film DV camera idea.
A bunch of ideas.
And a bunch of other ones. It's crazy that, I don't know, it's weird because, weirdly enough, the story that's coming to mind is the feeding of the 5,000.
Yeah.
Jesus, he feeds the 5,000 and then there's like a bunch left over. It feels like this. Like we had such a high goal, like, oh my gosh, we have to shoot 12 features. And I feel like at the end of this, we're going to have even more than 12 features done.
Yeah. Joel's making big promises, but I do think that I think he's right. I think that there's a good chance. I think I would say, like, I put it at like a 50-50 chance that like we're probably going to do more than 12. Whether or not, I think we'll stick to the 12 as the official goal, but if we do more films. So I think it's just exciting to see that, like, hey, we're not limiting ourselves by, like, hey, if we have more ideas, we'll just do them, and hopefully they'll pay off, and we'll just do as many as we feel creative to do.
Yeah, why stop yourself from doing as many projects as you want? You think of anything, and if it just ends up being a good idea, the amount of collaborators and people that have sort of just been talking to us and continually in our ear, encouraging us to keep going and make these features, I think is another reason why we're at this place right now at 9.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
People that are helpless from, Josh Horvath doing a bunch of the posters for our films. Obviously, He's going to be in Three Dicks, so we've already worked with him. He's in Ramen Sucker Punch, was about to come out. Multiple people online, Charlie Rogers, Matthew Thornberry, all these people that are like really, just the hype is there even.
Yeah.
And I think that just having people to talk to, bounce ideas off of, has also been something that's just been made it so much easier for us to keep going, and feeling like we can get it. I think one of the things that for me that was tough was just sort of the separate time when you and I were both sort of on our own making all the features. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I feel like a lot of the 12 features, it was so basically we started and we shot Sheepland at the beginning of the whole thing. And then basically after that, we were separate until just recently. And we've worked on projects here and there together, like One Shot, or there's another film, and I'm not going to tease which one, but and there's another film that is coming out very soon. That may or may not feature Joel in it. So I think having the separate time was able to make different projects, but it was definitely creatively just a different thing. Like I made 3 different movies where I'm basically the main character in all 3 of them. So I did the
6 Days Alone.
6 Days Alone, the Heart's Intention movie, which I did in Peoria, and Tell Me You Love Me, which is the sequel to Watch Me As I Go. So that for me, I kind of just grinded on making some solo movies where I was the main character. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, the big one for me was Hells of Timeshare in Florida. Obviously, my first directed feature film. That was really exciting. It was tough because it was weird feeling like I was on my own, doing it by myself. But that in and of itself really pushed me to fill different roles that I've never really been comfortable with and been very scared to do. So I think that aspect of pushing myself, I think, has definitely benefited me on my journey to being a better filmmaker. The thing I'm really excited about through all these films, and you know, the audience is about to get some of this, is Edward Shilka. I think he's always been a vital aspect of our work, and I am so excited for people to see not only his acting abilities, which you've already seen here and there interspersed through a lot of our films before, but you're going to be able to see him in a major role and directing Ramen Sucker Punch. I think I'm so excited for that to come out, and I already know we have another role that he's going to be in, and he's always been there. He's always been such a huge part of 92 films, but to sort of see him as the director up in front acting as the stars, it's exciting.
It was really exciting, and I'm glad that we got to work together. And I think that me and Ed got to have a different energy than me and Joel, which was cool. So I think it was cool to like kind of make another film and go with a totally different vibe, just because I wasn't the only one in the director's chair. And there was a lot of points where we had to find, not necessarily compromise, because I don't feel like Ed's that type of guy where we had to like argue a lot. I think me and Joel are more like that, where we like definitely have more back and forth. But I think that Ed was just the type of person who would introduce a new idea, and then it would just spiral into another idea, and then before you know it, we're talking about all these ideas, and then we're like, oh my gosh, let's do this and do that. So for Ramen Sucker Punch, I think a lot of the movie is up to him and up to what he created, and I'm so excited for people to see that.
This is it. Yeah. This is it. This is the last 3. This is right before we produce the third last feature film of the 12 features. I'm surprised at how the lack of burnout, I'd say, for me. But I've only completed, just on my own, I've only completed 1 film of the 9. And Dan has been a large part of more than that. I guess I could theoretically say 2 of the 9, but
I think that
how are you feeling?
Overall, I think there was burnout for me about halfway through or less than halfway through, but I think I've pushed past that, and now I feel like the burnout has kind of burnt out.
So, I think they call it a second wind.
Yeah, exactly. I think a second wind would be perfectly apt to describe what's going on here. So, yeah, I think this is a second wind. I kind of want to wrap this up only because I think that this camera is about to die very soon.
Oh, Dan, you're directing yourself out of the video, Dan.
I'm directing myself out of the video. But yeah, I think all I'd say to just wrap up real quick is I think that we're going to complete 12 features. I think that the projects we have put together are very interesting. We'll probably be showing some clips throughout this whole video, so hopefully you enjoy them. And I think that you're going to see a lot of new movies from us very soon.
We're not leaving. I think that's as simple as it gets. If you're expecting us to stop at 9 in and 12, it's not happening. Chlorine is coming. You have to wait a little bit before you see it, but it's happening, and we have no excuses, and you have no excuses not to see all of the 12 features that are being made up until August of this year. So,
peace out, guys.
Goodbye.
Have a good one.